So how are we supposed to try to develop ourselves into a trade line injection mold machine? Woo! Stay till the end to find out. Welcome to the news. Yeah. So yesterday we started to touch on a little bit at a time what it's like to develop production molecules. Yesterday we started talking about production molecules and spiritual finance. And so the step before that, a little bit before that, corresponds to an injection mold of trade lines, if you will. Because in essence, trade lines are like the thing that are the precursor to the production molecules, if you will, because it's just kind of like something that's theoretical or in theory or like a structure or a template, more or less. It's like a template. In essence, it's like the production molecule template, if you will. Like an injection mold of trade lines, a trade line injection mold, if you will, is something that we are as humans, is what we have inside of us, more or less. We as humans have this capability, in essence, to develop the concept of visualization and ideation, if you will, which corresponds to the potential for an asset structure to be able to somehow birth from us, more or less. And ultimately, in a similar fashion to how in the film industry, there are things such as producers and productions and production deals, in essence. Production deals correspond to the essence of a movie being developed from the deal structure coming into place and coming into play, where the deal structure is, in essence, fulfilled by specific people to carry out a specific action, and those specific people animate that specific deal structure so that, in essence, the flow of all the energy corresponds to the essence of developing a product and a production, and that contextual and conceptual marination and fulfillment of that conceptual structure. Those production deal structures, those are production deal molecules that are fulfilled by specific cells to be able to develop a unique ideation and a unique structure, developing a collaboration format which develops a unique synthetic energy combined from all the people that were chosen and brought their unique, interesting energies together to develop this specific production deal structure that yielded a unique piece of art off the back end that had multiple bells and whistles, which corresponded to developing the pipe structure to be able to bring in the things and the inflows and the outflows of energy and the timing to be able to bring it together, to bring it also to the marketplace, to facilitate the potential demand that's outside in the outer world, more or less. So, corresponding that mindset to every single other business, the potential of every single other business to occur, and that generalization to connection to entrepreneurship in the greater sense connects with the essence of what today's most focused topic revolves in regards around, which corresponds to trade line injection molds, which in essence are a free output of human energy, more or less a human conceptual output of human energy that develops also alongside of the template and the blueprint and the structure of production molecules, in essence. So it's brought together, after all, eventually by the whimsy of production deals to develop a unique structure and a unique combination of unique energies from unique people in the world, which connect also themselves to unique energies and unique backgrounds and unique processes from their own experience backgrounds, if you will, so that in essence the combination of all of the mindsets yield a completely unique and interesting outcome, and that facilitates what we're here talking about today, which is trade line structures that come together from acknowledging and understanding that we have trade lines within all of us. We have a trade line injection mold that stems from inside of all of us, in essence, and we have that ability to bring it out, fundamentally bring it out, by bringing out that out within us, by focusing on the idea that we have an injection mold for trade lines inside of all of us. It's energy, it's unique energy that corresponds to the potential of a business idea, of a business structure. It's a trade line injection mold, and that unique energy that is it's like the special sauce. It's like the thing that causes a seed to grow from within a seed. It's that potential energy. It's that life energy that's from within a seed that causes it to spring out and spurt once it gets sunlight and once it gets water and the interesting elements to be able to connect with it. That's also known as a production molecule. But that core energy, that core foundational energy of a trade line, of a conceptualization, you can also consider it to be inventions. Inventions come from a place that is somewhat more ethereal. But we have this injection mold inside of us. All humans do. And just by conceptualizing the potential to take a step forward and take a step into action, it causes information. Taking action causes information in essence. So the essence that information causes action, and action more so to begin with, starting with action causes information, that it's a matter of developing perpetual energy. It's a matter of developing perpetual energy in the world to take steps upon actions and specific business ideas that you might want to see come to fruition. And that causes information to be learned, which is a unique information set. It's a unique data set. It's a unique school that emits from your actions following in the pursuit of a specific business invention, a specific game plan, or a specific trade line. A trade line in the Dink Tech podcast today corresponds to the essence of any given potential business energy. And that is a myriad of conceptual potentials, because there's also myriads of varieties of combinations of ways to be able to develop depictions of ways to be able to go about certain given processes, if you will. So that myriad of potential possibilities is almost like similar to the essence of the amount of music types that can be possible in terms of the different sounds that are conceivable in the world. So that conceptual mindset is also relatable, to the essence of the energy that relates to the injection mold for specific trade lines, because that's business music. That's business music, is being able to try to flesh out that conceptual unique interest to develop specific unique problems to solve and specific inventions in the world, which is related to the trade line injection mold that is inherent with all humans, to be able to inject a unique variety of energy which corresponds to the trajectory that somebody is on, related also to the next person that they speak to, how they iterate on that idea, and also similar to how I do this podcast on a day-to-day basis. There is a school that emits from trial and error, more or less, trying things out, trying things and writing them down, and having a depiction and a reflection that's unique only to that person trying and doing trial and error on a day-to-day basis, which corresponds to also content development and developing a unique brand, if you will, which corresponds to a trade line, which corresponds to the essence of a trade line existing fundamentally for free. It's the essence of the difference between like a dream being for free and then the essence of hustle having a separate cost on the side. The hustle part is the action part. So that aspect, it takes a different way of trying to carve out a little bit of time and energy on a day-to-day basis to try to facilitate this demand and supply connection to come to fruition, if you will, to a certain extent. But like the trade line injection mold machine comes from within the humans to be able to develop a trade line. It's just the potential template for a production molecule to exist. It's only upon hiring specific producers, who are the producers to carry out a specific production deal and develop the actual people to fill the roles of that conceptual template, that in essence more so the magic occurs. There's more magic, but it's kind of also related to like a script. So a script development is the same as the potential of a writer, any given person to become a writer, because they just write words in a line in an order, and that becomes in essence a script template. And that is what's aligned with today the injection mold of a given trade line conceivable process, because any words conceptually together can become a conceivable script, because it's interpreted obviously also in the eye of the beholder of different people that are reading it, similar to a poetry reading. For example, different words can all equal poetry, because poetry doesn't necessarily have a linearity or a structure 100% in terms of being interpretation being present, for the potential for present interpretation to be also filed in between specific words and formats and structures. So that is what the essence of business music is. It's this template. It's this conceptual template to be able to injection mold a trade line from a human being, from the essence of a human being's nostril, so that in essence you can have a trade line come an injection mold out from a human being's energy by just having that any given invention, any given innovation, any given conceptualization in the business space that can just leak a little bit of value into the world is corresponding to a trade line potential. That's the script of the movie. It's the script of the business music in essence. It's the script that in essence comes out in the form of a trade line injection mold that comes out of you in the form of words on a piece of paper similar to a script. But obviously we're not talking about movies, we're talking about business music movies. And so those business music movies then have the ability to come together by developing production deals, molecule deals. Production deal molecules is what I meant to say. Production molecules is the essence of what that means, is production molecules, because in essence money is not necessarily a thing outside from what humans have developed it as in terms of a tool, after all, to be able to make things such as production molecules function and flow in terms of the energy flow, so people are held accountable to facilitating and following through with the essence of a potential and a depiction of a potential production molecule, to be able to bring it to the other side, to be able to bring it to fruition, to be able to ensure that it gets to the other side regarding completion. And there's also sometimes insurance, so that even if on occasion that things don't necessarily always come to fruition, that in essence insurance will cover the rest, to be able to develop a middle man to be able to facilitate the end result, to follow through and get to the marketplace, to be able to reach the end goal of the end result of the end of the process of the journey, to be able to reach the end of the line for developing and reaching the product goal, to get to the systematized systems that are in place, similar to the movie industry, of developing a long line of series of events to be able to eventually get a movie to be made, eventually from script to producer to production, to the people that inject their magic from the script to the production process, which develops a unique and always organic collaboration element, to then bring it to the marketplace, to then have the influence that it has over the marketplace. So it's really all human energy. It's ultimately all human energy. So the script is just a corresponding analogy to, in essence, the trade line injection mold. The trade line injection mold, because any given potential business idea can be injected out of a human. It's injected out of a human and onto a piece of paper, and it's just as simple as that. It's poetry. It's poetry. It's energy that can come out in various formats, and that can correspond to any given business, that can correspond to any given industry. For example, where there's a value proposition, there's a way, in essence. And the trade line connection is like a hollow shell, in essence. It's a hollow shell, and then more or less the production molecules are what fills the shell. The production molecules are the energy that go in and correspond to the energy that is chosen to fulfill the role of each given slot and opening, in essence, in the template of the trade line injection mold structure. The trade line injection mold structure is a template which has different places and different spaces for different people to be able to go inside of those vessels and be able to just leverage their energy by sitting still and having their energy be percolated from that production deal structure, because it's just kind of a proven molecule structure to be able to make the energy flow and the energy run like an engine, if you will, so that in essence that production molecule structure has the ability to fly and circulate, and then all of the different variations and variation elements correspond to as well similar different productions that correspond to at least our film studio, Dink Tech Change for Games Studios, which corresponds to developing more philanthropy energy than anything, so that those production deals develop a production studio of business music around the whole world that all connects together and collectively is able to coincide together to develop a bigger, larger impact and bigger, larger picture, similar to a film studio, making similar consistent box office hits one after the other, and being known and renowned for a specific ability to develop energy and an impact in the marketplace, in a global marketplace. And that is similar to what we are trying to be renowned for in terms of business music, in terms of the business music market, in terms of business music marketing, in terms of philanthropy energy generation in the business music market, to be able to then develop the business music film studio, or the business music film market, by combining and connecting with the apparatuses and the connections of illuminating all human beings in all different given countries, by developing producers and connections to different folks from different elements, from different jobs and different suits and different elements of different combinations of collaborations from one production molecule to the next, and then leaking over, because we're all actors in essence. We all in essence are all acting in this global game of change, in essence, and we are all changing and evolving every single day, regardless of our thoughts. And so that is in essence trying to harness nature in the direction that it's going, by acknowledging that we all have this trade line injection mold, external injection of external invention energy that is emitted from all of us naturally, organically. And so this injection mold mindset of just taking down on paper some of this energy that's already being emitted out of the injection mold externally from the injection mold, trade line injection mold, energy injection mold mindset, development, output, energies that are coming out and being emitted from human beings on a day-to-day basis, in essence, are just captured. They're better captured by understanding that this output of this injection mold it's an external injection, if you will. It's external injection. It's emitting energy from a trade line, emission energy that comes out from human beings, so that those energies can be documented, so that can be transitioned into production molecules, so that therefore it can be able to help solve problems through business music around the whole world, and globally we can continue to work together on global philanthropy energy, global problem solving, the global good deeds economy being developed, and then therefore thereby the global philanthropy energy grid. The global philanthropy energy grid, the global philanthropy energy grid to be organically be developed from this continuous mindset of a trade line injection mold of unique energy that is completely free for humans to be able to develop, completely free for humans to be able to inject their thoughts and mindset onto paper. And these trade lines, these are formatted, and these are translated and transitioned into trade lines, especially if the production mold, the production molecule mold mindset is then utilized, and then different producers are able to carry out and produce the production molecules. The production molecules productions, in essence, with producer partnerships to develop collaborations for all given conceptual facets regarding any given so-called supply and demand. Demand and supply. Starting with demand, and speaking into demand. Speaking for the demand. Speaking with demand focus, if you will, to speak the stories and speak the words and speak the narratives and speak the businesses and speak the inventions and speak the solutions to the problems of the given problems that correspond to the demand that is asking to be solved. The demand is asking for a problem to be solved in a given market. So that is how we're continuously, consecutively trying to conceptually, always consecutively solve problems around the whole world as a continuous global collaborative, global collaboration, fundamental, conceptual, collective mindset known as Ding Tech Change for Game Studios. Ding Tech Change for Game Studios. Yeah, unite us all. And everybody then therefore can better connect with global shelter animals, clear the animal shelters, clear the animal shelters, clear the animal shelters, clear the animal shelters collectively as a world, collectively clear the animal shelters so that all animals help to be hired, help hire all the shelter animals to be our healers, as humans to be our healers on planet Earth, so that they are our healers, and we can clear the animal shelters, and we can foster all the shelter animals, and we can adopt all the shelter animals, and we can let them have their own lives and lifestyles, because they have equal healing energy to give to all of us, to be able to circulate and recycle around the whole world, to be able to functionalize the global good deeds economy ideally. That's all for now. Thanks again, Ding Tech Change for Games. Ding Tech Change for Game Studios. Thanks again. Peace.